Welcome to the Four Listeners Program. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thanks for checking us out this week. On the mics, we have the Z-Man. What's up, Zed?
Big back McDeal, quarter pounder with some cheese, filet, fish, hamburger, cheeseburger, Happy Meal, McNuggets, States Golden, French toast, regular, large size salad, short garden, chicken salad, Oriental, big breakfast, egg muffin, hot and cakes, sausage, baby biscuit, 2, hottest, sausage, Danish hash browns, 2, and 4 dessert, apple pies, and Sundays, 3 varieties, sausage, country, kind of shake it, chocolate, cookies, and drink Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, and orange, drink Sprite and decaf, low-fat milk, and officer orange juice. I love McDonald's, good time, great taste, and I get salt one place.
Wow.
What in the fuck?
And on the other mic, we have the illustrious Corey G. What is up, sir?
Trying to get drunk, but I'm not that into it this week, so...
Right, well,
Oh, like maybe yesterday?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I believe we were supposed to podcast yesterday, and we get a text from your wife saying you're passed out on the couch after 2 beers.
in his defense, it was 3.
Yeah.
That's not really defending.
Well, it's one more than 2.
Did you have 3 Four Locos?
If he had 3 Four Locos, we would have done the show. Because he wouldn't have been sleeping for like 3 weeks.
That's true, that's true.
You know what, Chris? You told me you weren't going to bring this up on the show.
I didn't bring it up. He did.
Well, it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It totally is.
All right, here we go.
You let me down.
This week on the program.
2 beer queer and a 1 pump chump.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, what's spear?
Oh, this week on the program.
Just kidding.
A week ago, we had ourselves the Super Bowl, the championship game for the National Football League. And over the course of the past, past couple of decades now at this point, the Super Bowl has gotten to the point where it is no longer just a football game. It has now become this cultural phenomenon for delivering commercials. People watch this game now just for the commercials. And for a while there, it was good. You know, people were creating good and interesting commercials, and you didn't want to leave your chair or the couch or whatever you were doing. But lately it's gotten to the point where I want to hurl stuff at my television. Something must be done about bad commercials, and it starts with the Super Bowl. And I'll start it right here. I believe the purpose of a commercial is to sell product. If my reaction after watching a commercial is to swear off ever purchasing your product, I believe you have failed.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Right? And in considering that, on average, for a 30-second spot this year for the Super Bowl, companies were paying $2.4 million per 30-second spot. That is a risky proposition, especially if you're creating a commercial that is too clever by half, to the point where I don't want to buy your product. To put it in perspective, on let's say a regular primetime special, let's take American Idol, one of the highest rated shows on television. For a 30-second spot, you're paying roughly $500,000. $500,000. You're paying 5 times as much for the Super Bowl, and you better damn well get it right. And if I'm ready to throw shit at my television, yeah, I'm sorry, you fucked up.
All right, so what's your pick for worst commercial of the Super Bowl?
My pick for worst commercial of the Super Bowl is a commercial for Pepsi Max. What drives me crazy more than anything else is harpy women beating up on men. It drives me fucking insane. And this is what happens in this commercial. Here's a guy, he's out with his wife, and he's at a restaurant, and he says, "I would like French fries," and he gets his ass kicked. And then he's sitting in his kitchen, he's about to dig into a nice piece of pie, and his wife walks by and smashes his face into the pie. And then now he's literally hiding. He's hiding in his bathtub with the shower curtain drawn, and he's about to dig into a cheeseburger like he's finally found a moment of respite from his bitch of a wife. And he's about to dig into this cheeseburger, and nope. Here comes the wife's arm, opens up the shower curtain, takes the cheeseburger, and shoves a bar of soap in his mouth. And then he's sitting on a park bench on a beautiful day, and he's about to crack open a Pepsi Max. He's about to take a sip, and out comes his wife again out of the corner of his eye. He's just like, and she goes, "Nope, you can have that. There's no calories in that." He goes, "And maximum taste." And right there, that guy deserves a nut punch. But then worse things happen. A cute blonde jogger walks by. He looks at her. She looks at him. They smile. And then what does the wife do? She takes the Pepsi Max can that she's holding and chucks it at him. He at least has the wherewithal to duck, and then it knocks the jogger out. That's funny. Ha. Fuck your mom.
Pepsi Max.
Pepsi Max. Fuck your mom, Pepsi Max. Harpy women make me want to throw shit at my television.
Preach on.
For me, it was the Best Buy Ozzy Osbourne Bieber.
Oh.
I don't even know what the hell they were trying to promote. I like Best Buy, and I thought that was the worst. I can't even imagine how much that cost to film that, to get those guys on board to do that commercial.
Here's what bothers me about that commercial. What the fuck happened to you, Oz?
Well, Oz is Oz. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But now he's in commercials with that douchebag Bieber?
Bieber's in douchebag commercials with a lot of people now.
Oh, man.
He did one with The Situation.
Another douchebag. The two of them deserve each other.
Yeah.
Dude's got to get his money before his voice changes with puberty.
That's true.
Who,
Can't blame
Ozzy?
him. Yes, Ozzy. What the fuck's wrong with you?
What's your pick there, Corey G?
My worst commercial of the Super Bowl, and it's wrong in three ways, and I'll get into it. My worst commercial at the Super Bowl is the commercial that I saw a million times before the Super Bowl on a bunch of other channels. So that's what's wrong with it. It's the Super Bowl. It should be things that you have never seen before, especially when you're paying $2+ million for it. The second thing that's wrong with it is I can't even remember what it's for. It's the commercial where the guy's watching TV and he folds it up and he turns into an iPad and he takes it outside and then it morphs into a phone and he's doing all this shit all over the place.
Yeah, you've seen it before.
Yeah. And then the third thing that's wrong with it is I hate it. It makes me not want to buy whatever the hell they're advertising.
Right.
Good thing you don't remember what the hell they're advertising.
Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't buy it.
So there's an
now
outside chance that you might actually buy it.
accidentally buy it. In which case I'll have to nut punch myself.
I think frankly there are the marketing firms of Budweiser and Doritos should be fired, or at least the company should ask for their money back, because I mean there were a lot of Doritos commercials.
There's a lot of Doritos commercials. I thought one was crazy, the one where the guy was like sniffing his pants and licking his fingers and shit like that.
Yeah.
But their other ones were actually not too bad. I can't remember off the top of my head what they were.
Well, there you go then, right? If you can't remember what they were off the top of your head,
but it doesn't
what kind of an
but it
impression did they make on you?
But it doesn't matter because I know they were for Doritos. I just can't remember what the topics of them were.
Right. So I was equally as repulsed by the guy. Now look, cheese dust is in fact irresistible, right? And Doritos cheese dust is, right at the top of the list.
Second to only Cheetos.
Right. So it's understandable, I suppose, if you're licking your own fingers. But the fact that the guy was licking, he's like, "You left the best part." He's like, "No, I didn't. I finished the bag." And he's like, and he just starts sucking the guy's fingers. I'm like, all right, well, that's fucked up. And if that wasn't fucked up enough, there's a guy who had cheese dust on his pants. He pulls the guy's pants off and then starts sniffing them or licking the cheese dust off. Are you what?
That was so creepy though that it was funny.
So, I mean, when the Super Bowl started to be like a huge thing, beer commercials were the shit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, you had the Bud Bowl, and people would actually pick sides as to whether or not they were rooting for Bud versus Bud Light. What the hell happened to the days where beer commercials were actually good?
Yeah, what happened with the Budweiser commercial this year? What was it? Was that John Wayne or something comes into a bar? Everyone's nervous.
It's that creepy guy who's... Oh, shit, what was he in?
Anyway, he comes to the bar, and he's like, everyone's nervous. He's going to shoot the place up.
It's a Western bar, right? It was like one of those old cowboy-style bars, right? Yeah.
And this guy, the special delivery beer man, comes along with his ice-cold beer, and he passes it along. The guy drinks it, and then he starts singing some gay song.
Yeah, Elton John. He starts singing Elton John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, that was pretty stupid.
What? I think the whole marketing department for for Budweiser should just be fired.
For me, I think the cars did well this Super Bowl. I like the Volkswagen Beetle commercials. I thought that was at least interesting.
Yeah, the bugs freaked me out a little bit there. Wasn't a big fan of that.
Yeah, racing stripes on a cockroach. That's cool.
Yeah, that wigged me out just a little bit. I will give Volkswagen credit for what was perhaps the best commercial for any Super Bowl I've seen, where it was a little kid running around in his Darth Vader costume trying to use the Force on everything, and then he runs past his father. His father comes home, he runs past him and tries to use the Force on the car, and his father's watching this from the kitchen window, and it hits the automatic starter, and then the kid's like, "It worked! I can use the Force!" That's awesome. I will absolutely do that to my kid. I will go out and buy a Volkswagen so that I can do that to my kid. There is an example of a commercial that makes me want to buy the product because I want to show my kid how to use the Force.
That's cute.
Yeah, I had one car commercial that I was just like, what? It was for the Mini Cooper Countryman, and the commercial was like a staged game show for Cram It in the Boot.
Yeah.
And like they're going, cram it in the boot, and the host turns around and says to the contestant, he says, "Have you ever crammed it in the boot?"
So I actually got a little info on that. So that sounds like, from what I was talking to, I have a British coworker. It's a playoff of a game show that they really would have in Britain. So it's meant, I guess, not for the U.S. market or something.
I guess, because I didn't have an idea what the fuck they were talking about. But can I just
couldn't figure out what cram it in the boot means?
I got what cram it in the boot means, asshole. I'm just saying I didn't get
yes, it does involve that.
I didn't get the meaning of the commercial. Like I didn't understand why I should buy a Mini Cooper after that. Sure,
because you can cram a lot of stuff in its boot.
I could cram a lot of stuff in its boot.
So talking about let's talk about celebrity endorsements now. We talked about Ozzy, we talked about the Bieber. What the hell is Snickers doing, bringing in Roseanne and Richard Lewis?
All right, so here's what happened with this. Last year they had a whole lot of success with Betty White in that Snickers commercial.
That's a different story, but okay.
Right, but this is what happens. Okay, there is no level of originality with this. Last year Snickers had success with Betty White, and then that real brief cameo by Abe Vigoda.
Right.
And there was another one with the singer, the diva. What's her name?
Oh, Aretha Franklin in the back of the car.
Yep.
Yeah, right. So they've had some success with these older stars, right? So now they dig up Richard Lewis, who, it's sad to say, is not even on the same planet of popularity with Betty White. It's like, all right, so you had Betty White, and are we expecting Richard Lewis to be like, oh yeah, Richard Lewis, I love that guy?
Was anyone even supposed to know who the hell he was? I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him at first, and then I realized I think he's that comedian.
Right.
So I was trying to interpret the spin that they were putting on the logging industry.
No.
Whatever, but...
No, they were just saying that he was a whiner. He was being whiny because that's Richard Lewis's gig, right? He's a whiner. Okay. He's a whiny guy, right? And then they broke out Roseanne Barr. And you know what? The only redeeming quality of that commercial was watching Roseanne Barr get plowed in the head with a giant log.
You got knocked the fuck out!
Exactly.
That was the whitest ever interpretation of that line I've ever heard, but...
It's all right, though.
I think you did a good job, considering.
Okay, thanks.
But that's there's no originality. I mean, it's the same thing with the if you'll pardon the diversion from the celebrity bit of it, but it's the same thing with the E-Trade baby. Enough already. It's time to abort the E-Trade baby. It's creepy and it's no longer funny.
Well, that Super Bowl commercial was creepy with him touching that dude's face. What was that? That sounds like something up Zeth's alley.
Yeah, he's like getting measured for a suit or something.
Yeah,
and then he's like, yeah, that was
his lips. Don't say
shh.
What?
Yeah.
That made me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that was like reverse pedophile.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up with Eminem?
Yeah, go.
He must be running low on some cash.
It's gotta be. 2 commercials. One commercial where he says, "I don't do commercials."
In claymation, no less.
In claymation, and then a commercial that I knew was going to be a car commercial. It's got the 8 Mile soundtrack song coming on. You guys see this car driving around. You see it's going into Detroit. You see all of these landmarks, and then Eminem just goes out and he's like, "Yo, buy American cars."
My problem with that commercial is that there is no way in hell Eminem is driving a Chrysler 200.
Exactly.
And can we find out what happened to poor Adrian Brody?
Who?
Adrian Brody was an Oscar winner for the movie The Piano. Next thing I know, he's scatting in some cellar someplace for Stella Artois. And here's the other thing I want to try to figure out. Adrian Brody is not exactly one of the better looking dudes that they have in Hollywood, and yet every woman in that commercial was like literally crying for him, and I wanted to be like,
oh, the Stella Artois commercial.
Yeah.
but didn't I just say that? Did I stutter?
I didn't hear you say that.
I'm gonna play this back for you.
I heard it.
You know what? Fine. You said it, Chris.
Thank you. What I'm trying to figure out is why all these women are just drooling all over his ugly ass. That doesn't make me want to buy a Stella. I can't drink Stella. Stella goes on the list.
You shouldn't have been able to drink Stella in the first place. That's a bitch beer.
Stella's not a bitch beer.
Oh my God, Stella! It's right there on the label, designed for women. It's like secret deodorant.
I'll tell you what, asshole. Why don't you just go ahead and cram it in the boot?
Oh shit! That should be the new punishment for anyone who does something that we don't like. Instead of
You know what? That's what your mom told me last night.
Oh, snap! When exactly did my mom tell you to cram it in the boot? Was it before or after you fell asleep after having 3 beers, you fucking pussy?
Doesn't
Never
matter.
gets old.
Doesn't matter. So, I think we need to get into 4 listeners consulting group now.
Celebrity House of Consulting.
Oh, I gotta
Yeah.
play. Hold on. I gotta find the jingle.
The jingle's awesome.
Hey.
I
Find the
don't want
jingle.
to hear the. I don't want to hear the jingle, please.
There you go. I gotta find the jingle, fucker.
Listeners House of Celebrity Consulting.
I
All
hate
right.
that jingle.
What's wrong with the jingle?
Don't get me started.
All right, carry on.
So, our advice, and this is where we get paid our $50,000 check each, is to have whoever does the ESPN SportsCenter commercials do your next Super Bowl commercial. You know why? Because every single one of those has been funny and memorable, and you will not do better than that.
So, what would be if you were to model a commercial based on the ESPN? Are you talking about just the SportsCenter commercials, or
No, SportsCenter, College Game Day, all of them. They're all good.
So, how would you?
The funny ones are good. I wouldn't do it like the 30 and 30 stuff. Yeah, I don't care for that. But
All right.
the funny ones.
All right, so now you're an ad exec, and they're coming to you, our representative from the 4 Listeners House of Celebrity Consulting, and they're saying we need an ad that's going to sell and it's going to be awesome. And what do you do?
Well, first I finish snorting all the cocaine on my desk and banging the hookers in my office. And then I write a big check and say, you guys do it because I have no creativity and I only got this job because of who I know.
I sense cynicism in that, sir.
No. Me? Cynical?
Oh, Jesus.
Here's how you make a great commercial. Yeah, large-chested women, catchy song, ESPN dudes, no Michael Bay.
Well, all right. Well, there you go. So if you have any other suggestions on how to make a great commercial, you go ahead and post them on the Facebook page, facebook.com/4listeners, 4listeners.com. Check us out on the iTunes. And if you like what you hear, go ahead and like us on the Facebook page. Go ahead and set up a review for us. Make sure it's at least 4 stars. We'd like 5, but make
Just subscribe, please.
or just subscribe at a minimum. And we look forward to providing you with more insanity and wisdom from the House of the 4 Listeners House of Celebrity Consulting. Thanks for checking us out this week, and we hope you'll check us out next week. Thanks so much, everybody.
Milk also an orange juice. I love McDonald's. Good time, great taste, and I get this all at one place. Got it? Got it!